Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Ro, and today we have another tutorial for you. Today we are going to make a camping backpack, and we will start off with a piece of paper measuring 9 by 3. Again, that's 9 by 3, and then you will go cut the corners so it has this shape, and from each corner you will be scoring at 2. Again, from each corner you will score at 2 inches. After that, we will put that aside, and then the next thing we do is we need 2 pieces of paper measuring 4 by 5.5. And after you have those paper, you will be scoring them on 3 sides, as you can see here, and you score at 0.5 only on 3 sides. Next, what I did here is I just lined this 2 pieces of paper with a smaller piece of paper just to line it, just to have different designs. Then I glued and sewed them. That's how it looks. And then I just cut the corners so it'll be ready for gluing onto the other parts. Folding the score lines. There were a few people asking me what the collection of this paper is that I used. I am so sorry, it's an old Michaels collection. It's double-sided, they rarely do that, and it's very old, so I have no idea what it's called because they're loose papers. I don't have the whole pad, so I can't tell you, I'm sorry, but it's a Michaels paper pad. So what I'm doing here is I'm just, like, as I go, I try and see if my measurements are okay, because this project is my prototype, so it's the first time I made it. So those pieces of paper you will be gluing here, but not yet. But I'm just showing you where it's gonna go. So it goes there. The next thing we're gonna need is we are going to cut a few pieces of paper again for our pockets, the side pockets of our backpack. And for that you will be needing 2 pieces of paper measuring 6.5 by 3. So that's going to be our side pockets. So that's 3 by 6.5. And then the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to cut 2 strips of paper measuring 0.25 by 6.5. I meant 4. We need 4. Because I'm just going to line the corners of those paper just for an added touch. Next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna glue those strips of paper onto the 6.5 inch sides, and then after that we're gonna sew it. I mentioned in my other videos that whenever I'm out of the frame, It just means I'm gluing something or I grabbed something from my cart, so you're not missing anything important. You will also see that in here my bottom strip is shorter. I didn't want to cut a new one, and it really doesn't matter because it didn't matter because I was missing just 0.5 on each side, so it didn't matter because that will be covered because I will insert it later. You will see later that it will still be covered. But yeah, the length of that paper is 6.5. Yeah, I remember what I did here is it's because I just cut 2 strips of paper, which was from a 12 by 12 piece of paper, so I cut 6.5, so the other one, the other piece of paper is shorter, so that's 12 inches, so it's 5.5. But yeah, again, just to let you know, the strips will measure 0.25 by 6.5. Just gluing everything together. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, as you can see that the first piece of paper that we cut, I also lined it. I put a mat on it just for, you know, different design paper. Now, this is what I mentioned earlier, that that part right there that's not covered with that strip, it will be covered because this is how we are going to glue them together. So our side pockets will be curved. It's not box-like. So I'm gonna glue the 2 pieces together. I am not putting that piece all the way in the bottom. You could if you want to. Again, what I'm doing here is I'm just gluing the 2 pieces of paper together. So I am gluing the corner of the newer pieces of paper to those flaps of our side pockets. Not side pockets, but side panels, I mean. Okay, once the glue is dried up, we can go ahead and glue the other corner, the other side. That's how it's gonna look after you glued everything together. And there you have it. We have our 2 side pockets done. And just to show you how it's gonna look, it is going to look like this. Once you put it on that base part, so it's gonna look like that. Now we put those parts aside, and we are going to need our front and back panels. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper measuring 5 by 6.5, and then use score 0.5 on the bottom of both of them. And those pieces will be our back and front panels. And you will glue them like that, but not yet. So after this, you put the other panel to the side, and we are gonna make pockets for the front. But before that, I also cut pieces of paper to mat those panels. Next thing we're gonna cut, this is going to be the short back handle, which will go here, and that measures 0.5 by 5.5. So that's gonna go there. We're gonna sew that, and then you will also need the back straps. You need 2 1 by 7. We will sew that, and I believe I'm lining that too, and that will go here. There we have it. Now once it's sewed, we are going to glue this, the back strap, the back handle. I am gonna glue this first before I sew it together, just so it doesn't move while I sew. I'm just gonna eyeball the center so we know where to put them. We know where to put this strap. Once that is dry, I am just gonna glue this piece lightly to that other piece before I sew it. And once that's done, next thing we're gonna do is we are going to put our straps, our back straps, And I will do that by punching a hole on each of the strap corner and then putting eyelet. My eyelets are bigger than the punch, the hole, so I have to punch it twice. If you don't have a puncher, you don't have eyelets, you could always glue it down. But I prefer to do it this way because it's much sturdier. It's sturdier that way. So this is how it's gonna look when you put the straps. And once we're done with that, we are now gonna work on our front pocket. Just showing you right here how it's gonna look when you put that side pocket. That's gonna look like that. Next thing we're gonna work on, as I said, will be our front. So for the front, we are gonna make a pocket, and you're gonna need a piece of paper measuring 5.5 by 4, and then you are going to score 0.5 on all sides. I know there's an easier way how to make the pocket. I don't know why I made it this way. I think I got confused at first. I think I planned on just making a pocket without a flap, without cover, but ended up doing it anyway. So again, we score that piece of paper. That's a 5.5 by 4 inches, and then we score 0.5 on all sides. And we'll do a few snips so it's ready to be placed, to be glued on our bigger panels. Okay, this piece of paper, you will be flipping this. You're not gonna glue it that way. You are going to be gluing it this way. And that upper flap, that is where we are going to stick our cover for the pocket. So what I did here is I cut another piece of paper which is 5.5 by 3.5. Did some snips on the side, and then you are gonna score 0.5 on both sides, on the 5.5 sides, and then those flaps you are gonna glue that together with the other side flaps on this piece of paper. To make our pocket. So just a while ago you saw me put glue on the bottom flap. That's because I'm gonna glue this newer panel that we cut. So it looks like that, and then those side flaps we are also gonna glue together. Before gluing everything, I just sewed. I did some sewing, and now it's ready to be glued together. Again, quick reminder, if I'm out of frame, I'm just gluing something or doing something that's not important. So just letting you know you're not missing anything. Once you're done, that's how it's gonna look. Now you will need to cut a piece of paper, and that's for our flap for this pocket. And I'm just showing you how it's gonna look if you glued it on our front panel. Okay, as I said, we're gonna need our cover for that pocket, and the flap is gonna measure 1.5 by 4.75, and then I'm just gonna mat that with another piece of paper. I believe I am also gonna round the corners. Yes. So I'm gonna round the two bottom corners, and then I will sew that. Once you're done sewing, I'm gonna glue that cover onto this flap. That's how it's gonna look. And that's gonna go there. Next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna make another pocket. But I guess I am putting this piece of the front panel first. So far that's what we have. And then I did sew it. And then the next thing we need to do is we grab another piece of paper. Again, this is the pocket that I said. It's gonna measure 7 by 5.5, and you will be scoring 0.5 on the bottom, and on the side you will be scoring at 0.5, 1, and 1.5, and you do the same thing on the other side. And then you will fold it this way, so it's gonna look like a fan, accordion like. Again, this piece of paper is gonna measure 7 by 5.5. and you will score 0.5 on the bottom, and you will score 0.5, 1, and 1.5 on both sides. So that's it, how it's gonna look once you folded the score lines. Then we'll fold the bottom score line. And then I'm just gonna cut a few parts of this flap right here. Later on, I believe I'm gonna show you that I cut a little bit more on the side corners, the side flaps, so it's not too bulky once I glued it together. That's how it looks so far. And then you'll sew those sides. And then this is gonna go here. As you can see, our pocket, our envelope pocket, is a tad bigger than our new pocket. If you want it to have the same size, you would just have to add a few inches to your the bigger pocket, or make the envelope smaller. I'm just showing you right here how it's gonna look once we put those two together. Next thing is right here, you can see I I just cut it. I don't have a puncher. Oh wait, I do have a puncher. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's an added design. So here you can see that I even cut like a piece of that last flap on the sides. It's again so it's not too bulky once I put everything together. I'll just glue that down. And then once that is dry, we are gonna glue this pocket to our front panel. You will glue it that way. So you put glue on the 3 flaps. Once the bigger pocket is glued down, you will now glue this smaller envelope pocket. And that's how it's gonna look once it's glued down. So our front panel is done. Now it's time to put everything together. The first thing I'm gluing together will be the front panel and the side pockets. So that's how it's gonna look, and then we are gonna glue these two together, and I'm gonna do that off cam. And once we're done gluing that too, you will also glue the back panel. Once you glued those 3 parts, you put that aside, and then the next thing we're gonna need is we're gonna need another piece of paper for our front big flap, and that paper is gonna measure 5 by 6.25, and you score on top at 0.5, and then in the bottom you will round the corners. After that, I also matted it, and once that's done, you bring back your bigger piece. After gluing everything down, that's how it's gonna look. And now we're ready to put our flap. I also forgot to mention that off cam I added a strap for the closure. This strap measures 1.25 by 2. I rounded the corners on the bottom, and then I just used Velcro for the closure. So that's how it's gonna look. Yeah, we are done. All we need to do is to embellish this backpack and we're good to go. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video, and here's a short clip of how it looks like put together. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.